with Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots falling to 2-10 this season and being last by a whole point per game offensively at 12.3 points per game, I think it's time to consider the fact that Bill Belichick will most likely not be the coach of the New England Patriots next season. He has been riding off the coattails of Tom Brady and their success together for the past few years, ever since Tom Brady left to go to Tampa Bay. And I do think that after this season, that Bill Belichick's time in New England has been done. And I think that this has to do with his ability as a coach as well as a general manager, because he's always had the freedom to kind of draft whoever he wanted, make the free agency signings, and also coach them on the field because of his role as both the general manager and the head coach of the team. But if you look at the past years, he's never had a great history of drafting. Most notably is his draft bust with N'Keal Harry in the first round of the 2019 NFL draft, and just not being able to pick the right players at the right times and also not being able to develop them as a coach. So many times he's passed up on superstar players and above average other players at skill positions that he would definitely benefit the team to draft other players that are far below average, like a N'Keal Harry and other players at skill positions. However, as much as the general manager has been bad with Bill Belichick, the coaching side has been almost as bad. When you look at the offensive schemes that he's put in place and the offensive coordinators that he's hired, he just has not been able to produce a winning offensive football team. Within the last 3 weeks, with a quarterback in Mac Jones whose confidence is clearly shot, he's averaged 4.3 points a game, and despite giving up 10 or fewer points on defense in each of the last 3 games, they are 0-3 in this span. They've put up 7, 6, and 0 points respectively, and this last week was an all-time low, losing to the Chargers 6-0 in a game that they should have won in any other circumstance. I do believe that the Brady-Belichick tenure was largely due to Tom Brady now. And when Tom Brady first left the Patriots, I thought it was a lot closer than I do now. And I also thought that Belichick actually had more to do with the Patriots' success. However, after watching him coach and draft and be a general manager the past 3 to 4 years, I can confidently tell you that Tom Brady was the one that really lifted this team. And now that they don't have the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady and a top 3 tight end of all time in Rob Gronkowski, this offense is stagnant. And I'm not even going to touch on the defense, because the defense has actually been pretty solid, ranking at 8th in points per game this season, allowing only 18 points a game. But offensively, Bill Belichick has not been able to sign the correct players, draft the correct players, or put in a winning system in terms of the offensive side of the football. And I know that the offensive side of the football is not his specialty. He is a defensive-minded head coach. But when you're touted as one of the greatest head coaches in NFL history and have won multiple Super Bowls, you were expected to be able to produce a winning football team, or at least score more than 12 points a game. And when looking at Bill Belichick's last few seasons, his drafting has been awful. At first, it looked like he did really well with Mac Jones, but in this case, I do believe that it was the development of Mac Jones that has really failed him. And one thing that I think that Bill Belichick has done wrong horrendously with Mac Jones is that he has benched him 4 times in 12 games throughout this season and brought in Bailey Zappi. And when looking at Bailey Zappi is not going to provide a spark that is going to magically lift this team to wins. He's not going to play better than Mac Jones. All you're doing is shooting your young quarterback's confidence. And while Mac Jones has had multiple bad games, going back to even last season, he has had flashes of potential like he did in his first season. And for you to bench him 4 times in the matter of 12 weeks, once every 3 games, that is obviously going to shoot a quarterback's confidence. And one of the biggest traits a quarterback needs to have is a sense of confidence. And so the management of his players as a coach has been subpar for Bill Belichick for a lot of time now. And to see how he's handled a quarterback that has struggled is honestly abysmal. Because obviously when you have Tom Brady, you're not going to bench Tom Brady because Tom Brady can kind of figure it out by himself. But when Bill Belichick is putting in a horrible offensive system, the offensive coordinator isn't doing his job, and then Mac Jones obviously is going to struggle, and you just pull the plug in 4 different games in the matter of the first 12 weeks of a season, that's not a recipe for winning or for development of a young quarterback. Because at the end of the day, Mac Jones is a young quarterback in his 3rd year of the NFL. If you look at guys like Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger, while they weren't awful in their first 3 years, they weren't amazing either. And so many times it takes a quarterback 3 to 4 years to really develop. And Mac Jones has actually looked good at times in his career, especially his first year when the world and the organization had a lot of trust in him. He was taken in the first round of the NFL draft, and everyone was highly touting him as the next quarterback of the New England Patriots. So when he had that trust of the organization, he played well. But as soon as Belichick took that away and started to not trust him, going back even to last season, he started to struggle a lot more. Last season wasn't terrible for Mac Jones, but it wasn't great as we had expected it to be after his amazing rookie season. And this year, he's been benched 4 times in 12 games, like I've mentioned, and this is just not winning football, and it's not going to be a good development strategy for your young quarterback. A coach and a general manager has to show confidence in their young players, and Bill Belichick hasn't done either in both the general manager position or the head coaching position. And so I do think that Bill Belichick's time and dynasty in New England has come to an end, and I think that he will be elsewhere next season. Fortunately for Belichick, there's going to be a lot of openings this offseason in terms of head coaching gigs, and one that comes to mind is the Los Angeles Chargers, because they have an amazing offense that will be able to kind of work past his deficiencies as an offensive-minded coach, but also they've been lacking a lot of defensive structure and have the key pieces on defense to become a top defense in the NFL. If Belichick can turn around the Chargers defense, I think that he can still have a couple of winning seasons left and even push the Chargers closer to Super Bowl contention. Anyways, God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by April. So if you can help me do that, that'd be amazing. Thank you. God bless.